How you doing, folks? It is Clay the author here today with another drive from work blogo video thingy vlog. Yeah, content. Yeah, driving home from work again today. So much stuff going on. Oh my goodness, so much stuff going on. So I'm gonna get to that World Anvil video, but right now I'm actually trying to just hone down on what features I even want to put in the video, because I've got to be honest, if I just started recording, I'd be like a 9-hour video of me just being like, oh, and this button, oh, this button's really cool, look at what it does here, oh, look, did you know that if you upload this picture you can, and it just, so I have to organize that video a little bit more, because I do just want it to be a bare minimum, you know, go through what another author like myself is gonna need, right? What bare minimum features you can do and have. And I want to have a few of my content pieces on there, you know, get the typos out of them and actually make them pretty enough so that I could use them for an example display and not just mind dump word barf all over, you know, so that the author knows what's going on, right? So there's that, right? But I've been thinking about it, and I think, and maybe you guys can help me on this one, but I think I'm gonna start doing like spoiler-ish release videos for my process here, because I don't know how to get around that. I'm creating these characters and I want to share it, but I don't want to spoiler the book because things change, things happen, you know, the characters progress, and the main character actually has a few progressions that happen to them right in the beginning of the book, kind of, and you know, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about my characters. The idea, right, was that I would do maybe a deep dive, since that's what I'm doing, is creating these characters right now, and maybe what I should do is some videos where I actually share with you folks what I'm doing, right? And actually, you know, show you the art that I've got written up for this character, and, you know, their actual character sheet, and, you know, what I think their stats are, and that kind of stuff, so that, you know, maybe it'll just maybe there's something that's interesting. I honestly don't know if it is, but that's where I'm at, because right now I don't have a lot of content to come up with these videos, because I've noticed that the way I work it's not conducive to like recording while I'm working. I am very much a head down, just bulldog, bite on it and don't stop chewing until it's done. You know, 6 hours later I look up and I'm like, oh man, I gotta use the bathroom, you know, and that's just how I do it. And so I'm having the worst time doing follow-along videos where I can be like, and here I am doing X. You know, I see a lot of you folks being able to do that, and just editing through a day, you know, where you guys will, you know, do, yeah, like a whole day, and you just show what y'all are doing. And I can't do those videos. B-roll, I just don't understand B-roll yet. And I get what it is as an abstract concept, but recording it, it's so strange to me. And if you've noticed, like 99.9% of my videos are one takes. You know, I'll cut out a couple of, you know, me dropping the phone here and there, but that's it. This is just me talking. And so, you know, my video editing skills are like nil. And I don't know if that has to do with it, anything to do with, you know, how I'm able to share content and how I'm able to content create, but I don't think so, right? I think it has to do with the fact that I am just a plug into the matrix and don't come up for air until I'm done kind of worker. That's just always been how I've worked. And so I'm being derailed a little bit on my YouTube plan. I wanted to just be able to pop open the camera like I've seen some of you folks do, and record, maybe make a quippy comment here and there, edit my way into, you know, an awesome piece of content, and then put it up. That is not happening. It's not happening. Darn it. So I I think I'm going to do deep dives into my characters, right? Because the whole point is to share my process and to share what I'm doing, right? That's why I'm recording these videos, just sharing my thoughts, where I'm at. And so, what that brought me, is doing some character dive videos and just discussing the cast, right? And who I'm going to put in this, why I'm going to put them in there, what role they're going to fill in that, hero's journey circle, and yeah, and then get feedback from y'all, and you can let me know that it's a really bad idea, because I am seriously, I'll just go out there and say it. Why not? Spoilers. In my book, I am writing a non-gendered character, which was supposed to be really fun and hilarious for sex scenes and stuff like that. Choose your own partner's adventure book, right? It was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be light, and it was supposed to be interesting. And then I started realizing that I have now jumped into the world of transgender representation and LGBTQ. Oh my goodness, it's a can of worms, because as an author, right, that's our responsibility, right? We can't, just do these things and be like, well, I thought it was fun. It's like, yes, but you made a bunch of people cry, and that was rude. And so I'm trying not to do that. But at the same time, I still just want to have fun. And so that is that big point that I would love to bring onto the channel, my trials and tribulations, and me trying to talk my way through the experiences of that character, and how I do actually want to involve their struggle with beauty and all of that kind of stuff, but not from a gendered standpoint, right? From the fact that they're ugly. They're an ugly fucking cuss. Like, they're not attractive. And that is the problem, right? And so this character is going to have these flaws, and I don't know how to work through them in a sensitive way. And that's just all there is to it. It has to be a flawed character. It has to be well-rounded. It has to be great. I'm not looking for some, oh, well, yes, I'm making a non-gendered or trans character, so they must be totally awesome. No, like, they're a bratty kid, in their 20s, still trying to figure their shit out. It's a little bit of a coming, of age story, but really, it's just an action adventure with a young genderless protagonist, right? That was the whole point. But now here I am, right? Like, stuck in YouTube craziness, trying to make sure that my sensitivity trainings, turned up to 10, so that I'm not being an asshole, just some cis asshole, right? Because that I am. And, oh man, struggling not to be me, because I gotta write characters that aren't me. But at the same time, the character is me, right? Because that's the whole point, right? Is you delve back into your own experiences and your own, struggles with gender identity and who all, I am and what I'm going to be. And so that's where we're at, right? And that's one character. That's they actually come from an entire clan of genetically engineered super soldiers who are also genderless. And what does their culture end up looking like, and how do they deal with the fact that their procreation has been nerfed, and how they actually procreate themselves, and how they're dealing with that, and how they name themselves, and how they speak about each other in pronouns and that kind of stuff, because I want them to be a hidden society who has survived, and so there becomes problems with that, because they're a hidden society that has survived on the outskirts of regular society, and there's implications with that, and I know it, but I don't know what to do, because that's how I imagined it in my head. Well, shit. And so that's where I'm at, right? Is, all these fun little things, is I've got a whole society of super soldiers that I would like to refer to them, instead of using, they, them, he, she pronouns, if I could refer to them by their designation, right? And that would be really fun for, referring to them as their body type, because that would be kind of the thing, is that they're clones of each other, right? So if you're a Jack, you're a Jack. Now, it doesn't matter, what gender, you feel like you are on the inside or any of that other stuff, right? It doesn't matter who you actually are, right? The physical, you're a jack or, you're a bomber, whatever, I'm not doing a very good job explaining this, but I've got 5 archetypes, right? Which are these 5 critical roles for the military unit. Of those 5 roles, everybody within that role, the scout, right? The engineer, right? They are a clone of that thing, right? Of that unit. And so they all look the same, but like the Clone Wars and Star Wars showed us, none of them act the same. They're all still individuals, right? When you give something a life, they want to live it. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is blend a little bit of that Clone Wars-ness, where what culture comes out of being a super soldier and what values would you put on yourselves, hundreds of years after you've been decommissioned, I guess, and what society comes out of that, where you want to exist, you need to be able to procreate. That's what we do. That's a huge part of how, we continue. That's just part of life. And so that's going to be the main thing that they want, is to continue their lives. But what does that look like, right? And how do I, not step on people's toes to make that happen? Because I think it's a fun idea. I think it's a fun premise, because we all know that if we made genetic super soldiers, the first thing we would do is nerf their ability to procreate. And so it comes out of this place where we know that these would be the natural issues that would arise, but I got to figure out how to deal with it. And so that's my main issue, right? It's not like this is going to be a problem, in the world and in the culture. As far as the world goes, the world is just meh, right? If the world were a character, it would be the meh emoji. It is played out. The whole world is just done. It's tired. Nobody cares. So if you want to be a different gender, if you want to be a different species, if you want to be Catboy, nobody cares. You do you. That's where the world is coming from. So it's not like the character is going to get, any flack or have any self-discovery based on societal non-acceptance, right? So that's not where the issues lie. The issues lie in their own opinion of themselves, right? They're these inner turmoil things. And so that's hard, man. So that's hard. And that's where I'm at, is trying to figure out how to get this character and the culture that they're not a part of, right? This is going to take so much explaining and so much backstory, and I don't know what to do. So I guess I'm just going to have to end this video here, because this is part of a character dive, and I think that's what I have to do, is actually just do a main character introduction and have you guys possibly help me out with it. All right. I think that's what's coming up next, folks. An MC intro. And we'll see if you guys like Janus Thornback or not. Alright, like, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff, and thank you for being my rubber duck and helping me work out this problem, because it's a problem that needs working. Alright, you guys, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the sun.